Let's talk about 10 rookie mistakes that you need to overcome if you're gonna master tattooing. Make sure you stay to the end of the video because number 10, I think, is absolutely the most important for all of you. The mistake that you definitely don't wanna make, but some of you are. Number 1, failing to properly stretch the skin while you're tattooing. You have to get a good stretch on the skin when you're tattooing. If you don't have the proper stretch, you're not gonna reach the proper needle depth, and that you're not gonna have a good tattoo. Make sure you're stretch more than you think, especially when you're first starting and you're not used to it. Try to overstretch. Overstretching, honestly, is a little bit better than no stretching. My name's Ryan Methric, also known as RM.INK on Instagram. Check me out, give me a subscribe, hit the bell. I'm gonna be posting more videos. If you have any questions at all, feel free, as always, to contact me. Number 2 is ignoring your client's skin type. Now, everybody's skin is completely different. You have darker skin tones, lighter skin tones. Some people bleed more, some people swell, some people have tough skin, dry skin, soft skin, old skin. You have to make sure that you're a master of everyone's skin, so you can't ignore it. If you're just tattooing and you're having trouble and the skin's tough, you can't just keep blasting through because that's how people scar and you'll have a bad tattoo. So definitely pay attention and focus and do some research on your client's skin type. Now, number 3 goes along with number 2, and that's overworking the skin. You do not want to overwork the skin. Now, yes, all of us have done that in the past. Unfortunately, we've overworked some skin. That's how you learn. But overworking the skin is not good. Generally, what I do, if the skin starts to swell a little bit in the area I'm working, I move along and I'll come back later when the swelling's gone. Because you can scar the skin if you work on it too much while it's swelling. Overworking skin will make the ink fade. You can scab. It can lead to possibly infections down the road. But definitely, it's better to underwork the skin than overwork it. I would rather come back during a heel tattoo and do a second pass than do too much on the first pass. Number 4 is not understanding your needle depth or needle pressure. Now, I made a video on this exact topic and I'm gonna link it right up here, so check that out. But you definitely have to understand your needle depth and pressure, or else you're not gonna be able to pull off a successful tattoo. Now, this one is definitely a little bit challenging for the new tattoo artist, the rookie tattoo artist. You're gonna struggle with needle depth. Number 5, now we've all done this one. Number 5 is rushing through a tattoo. It took me absolutely years and years to not rush a tattoo. You know, you're doing an 8-hour tattoo and the time's clicking and you're hungry and you're tired and your client's hurting and they're moving and you just want to start rushing to get done. Or maybe they're putting the pressure on you, but honestly, just either reschedule or just slow down. Usually at those moments when I really want to rush, what I do personally is I'll take a little bit of a break, maybe 10 minutes tops, and I'll just relax. And when I come back, instead of rushing, I'll actually slow down. I'll actually tattoo slower than my normal pace, and that way I end up going back into my normal pace, and that's really the best way. There's no point of doing a 6-hour tattoo amazingly and you rush that last 2 hours. You're not going to get the results you want. Your client might not be happy, and then you're going to feel horrible about it. So make sure you do not rush your tattoos. And to me personally, that's one of the hardest things that I think a tattoo artist can struggle with getting better. Now, number 6 to me is using the wrong needles. Now, you have to know your needles, and that comes with experience and using different varieties. But for example, if you have to do small, thin lettering or line work, you do not want to use a giant liner. It's just not going to look right. It's the same, you're not going to paint a room with a toothbrush. Same thing applies here. Everyone has their specific needles that they like, but if you're filling in a space this big of solid black tribal, you're not going to use a smaller needle or round shader. You use one of the size that's appropriate for the tattoo that you're doing. It'll save you time. It'll make your workflow a little bit quicker, but that also comes with time and learning what needles to use and what's right for the job that you're doing. Number 7 is a tricky one, and I think this comes with time also, and that's not applying the tattoo stencil correctly or waiting for it to dry. Now, I made a video on this topic also. I'll link that up here, but you definitely want to have a solid, clean stencil. You have to learn how to apply a tattoo stencil to the skin if you want to do a good tattoo. Now, if you're an amazing artist, yes, artists out there will Sharpie or draw on the skin, but that's not for the beginners. This video is for the beginner tattoo artist. Make sure that you have a good solid stencil, wait a good 10 to 20 minutes and let it dry, and then start your tattoo from there. Number 8 is not understanding color theory and choosing the right colors if you're doing color tattoos. Now, if you're a black and gray artist, I would still learn this, but you don't have to. But if you're doing color tattoos or you're interested in doing color tattoos, you have to have the basic fundamentals of color theory down, like the color wheel and how to mix the bases of colors, and then choosing correct tattoo colors that are harmonious together for the tattoo that you're doing. I feel like a lot of of beginner tattoo artists just choose random colors and hope they work. It doesn't really work like that. You have to have some sort of grasp and knowledge of what you're doing. The better your color theory is, the better and more harmonious your color tattoos will look. Number 9 to me is the lack of communication with your clients. You have to have communication with your clients of exactly what they want. Some people are difficult to work with, but you know what? This is your job. So you deal with that and you reassess the situation. You need communication not only with the tattoo design that they want to get done, but also the comfort of them while you're tattooing them. If somebody's like sweating and freaking out and is about to pass out, you don't keep tattooing them. You have to have communication. You have to be aware of what's happening at all times with your clients because it's your tattoo work that's on your clients. It'll make the whole process smoother through email, through consultation, through the tattoo procedure, and after the fact. And that's how you create really good lifelong clients that will continue to come back and get tattoos from you monthly, if not weekly. Now, number 10 is probably the most important mistake that you're making, that you could be making, and you cannot do this. That is the lack of proper hygiene and sterilization. Let me say that one more time.
The lack of proper hygiene and sterilization.
Failing to maintain a clean and sterile work environment, honestly, is the biggest mistake that you could possibly make. And if you're doing this, you need to fix it right now, or you need to jump out of the game, honestly. You want to do this to prevent infections the best you can, for your client's safety. Do not transmit diseases through this. Clean all your stuff, sterilize all your stuff. Use pre-packaged, brand new equipment that's pre-sterilized. Use gloves, people.
Use gloves, people.
I'm going to be making a full video of this exact topic of how I clean and sterilize and maintain my work area. It makes the whole tattoo process easier, and it's the number one most important rookie mistake that you need to overcome if you're going to master the art of tattooing. I have a bonus one for you too. Here's a bonus mistake. Don't be an asshole, because nobody likes being around one, and it's not going to help your career or my career at all. If you're having a bad day, don't bring that shit to work because nobody wants to hear about it.